Good afternoon. My name is Vera Bumpers. That's VERABUMPERS. I am the Chief of Metro Police Department, and we've asked everyone to come here today to talk about the series of events that have happened on our system. As you all know, since October, we've had 7 incidents that happened somewhere along our rail line system. But what we want to make clear today is none of those incidents are connected. They're all random incidents, and just to also clarify that out of those 7, we have made arrests in 5 of those incidents. In particular, the one on last night, it was a shooting at our Palm Center Transit Center. What occurred was these were 2 individuals that we have determined knew each other. It was a safe haven situation. The victim was seeking a safe space, and she was obviously hiding from the suspect. He was able to find her as the train was on a layover at Palm Center, and he did shoot her. Of course, our thoughts and prayers are with the victim, hoping that she will get better, and definitely with her family. That is an incident, that is one of the 2 where we are still looking for the suspect. The other incident was a shooting on a bus on Harwin, where we are now looking for that suspect also. And we do have be on the lookout notices out with all of our law enforcement personnel as well as our partner agencies. I just want to be clear that the security and safety is paramount to us on the transit system. We partner with Houston Police Department as well as other agencies throughout the system, and to make sure that our patrons are safe as well as our employees. And we do consider our system to be safe. And we want to make sure that the riding public understands that, as well as our personnel, that we're focused on the safety. In the coming months, we're going to be doing some more partnering with Houston Police Department. We have increased our personnel as far as overtime. We utilize our technology. We have cameras on the train as well as on the buses. We also have call boxes on our platforms. We have signage all over, ways that you can contact Metro Police Department. We have an app, MPD Connect app, that citizens can use to contact our dispatcher directly. They can even send pictures. So we are doing our best to ensure the safety of our citizens that are riding our system. And so we just wanted to make sure that we clarified it today and made it clear what we're doing, and just to emphasize that we can't say that enough, that we believe that our system is safe. And I appreciate Chief Fenner for being here today, definitely one of our important partners, and they are always willing to share, work together, and provide their resources.
Hey, just want to say hello to everybody, and to my partner and my friend and my colleague, Chief Bumpers. Just wanted the city of Houston to understand and know, because I've got the questions and well, hey, what are y'all doing? What are you in partnership with Chief Bumpers and HPD and Metro, all these officers? It goes on every day. But we are, and we talked several weeks back about some of the things that we wanted to do, and one of those was myself and Chief Bumpers riding along, getting on METRORail and some of the other public transportation and riding. But you will see in the future not only Metro police officers in plain clothes, also HPD officers. We want to make sure everything is safe. But I do want to caution us, and we've been here before, and maybe not on the Metro bus line, when you have incidents over a few short weeks and it's happening. But I want to not victim blame. We never do that. We respect people. But I want everybody to watch your relationships, and not only riders on Metro, because these are not incidents that's just totally random. Some of them, there was a relationship there, and not victim blaming again, but the main thing, out of those 7 incidents, 5 of suspects are in custody, or we know about them, okay? So we're going to continue to move forward, and as we do, I want the public to understand, and not only Metro, all of our agencies in this area. It's one safe Houston, and we all work together, and we'll continue to do that. But I don't want everybody to just hit the panic button. Understand what it is. It's some incidents, and it occurred at a short amount of time, but I'm not going to take the chairman's thunder and there are hundreds of thousands of riders every day, and they do that safely, and that's what we do here in Houston. We're going to have to identify and work on those few individuals that's causing problems in our city, and that's what we intend to do. But thanks for, I'm honored to be here with you. All right? Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Sanjay Rambhadran. I serve as the chair of the board of the Metro Board of Directors, and I'm joined here this afternoon by two of my colleagues, Dr. Lex Frieden and Diane Luder. Thank you all for being here. On behalf of the Metro Board, we want you to know that safety and security are a top priority for the agency. And we also want you to know that the Metro Police Department Chief Bumpers has the full weight and support of the board and Metro leadership behind MPD to provide whatever is necessary to keep our customers safe. Speaking of Metro's leadership being behind MPD, who knows more about public safety than our President and CEO, Chief Tom Lambert? 44 years at the agency, making sure that the system is safe. Consider this. Chief Finner alluded to this. In October and November of this year, we had two of these unfortunate and tragic incidents occur. And during that same period of time, Metro provided over 10.5 million rides. Two incidents, 10.5 million rides. That's not to say any criminal activity is acceptable. We know, we understand one incident is too many, and our thoughts go out to the families of those involved. But as Chief Bumpers has shared, our law enforcement professionals are doing everything that they can to ensure that we have a safe and secure system. Think about this. Overall, the traveling public is not at any greater risk on Metro than being at any other public place. We at Metro care about our community and the customers that we serve. We understand that everything from gun violence to people dealing with homelessness are social ills that we are all obligated to address, and we at Metro are doing our part. It's the reason that the Metro Police Department started the CARE unit, which is an outreach team that works with the police department to help people in crisis living on the streets or using public transit as a shelter. In just a few months, this team has assisted dozens of people dealing with homelessness. We also have an officer assigned to the Houston Police Department's homeless outreach team, because partnerships, as Chief Finner talked about, are essential. We are all in this together. It takes partnerships between Metro, Houston Police Department, Metro's Police Department, and frankly, a partnership with our customers, with our community and society as a whole, because that's what it takes to make sure that we have a safe and secure and clean system. We are also investing in the cleanliness of our rail stations, our rail cars and buses, because cleanliness is often associated with safety as well. We are continuing to explore other opportunities to improve the customer experience, and the safety and security are cornerstones of everything that we will do. Let me reiterate a couple of items. Chief Bumpers talked about this, right? Almost all of these incidents originated elsewhere and spilled onto a rail platform or onto the train or onto the bus. Thanks to boots on the ground, thanks to partnerships, thanks to technology and cameras, we've been able to ID and in many cases apprehend the perpetrators of the crime. We're going to continue to invest in stepping up resources, having more boots on the ground, combining with technology and partnerships to make sure we make progress. Let me also say this. It also starts with respect for our fare inspectors that are out there doing the job, being ambassadors for a comfortable ride, a friendly ride for our customers. It's about respect for our law enforcement officials, whether it's MPD, HPD, or any other law enforcement agency in the region. It's all of us working together, and if you're on the system and if you see something, say something. We've got the ability for folks to communicate with MPD and with Metro while you're riding the system without attracting attention to yourself. As I said, we are all in this together, and together we will ensure that we've got a safe, secure, friendly, reliable, frequent, and equitable transit system. Thank you all.
We'll take a few questions right now. It feels like that there has been an increase in recent months of violent crime on the METRORail. What do you attribute
It does feel like that because they came so close together. But prior to that, we did not see those numbers that close together. I don't think that there is any specific reason that I can give you other than that these are isolated incidents. There's no connection to them. There is nothing that we found that would be a common thread between all of the incidents. It's just isolated, and as we said earlier, out of the 7 incidents, 5 of those persons had an encounter, and on a couple of occasions, these were just spillover onto our system. It occurred, the arguments and the confrontations occurred off the system, and it just spilled over. So it just happens to be one of those situations where it just occurred. But as Chairman said and Chief Fenner, everyone just has to be vigilant. And we said it before, you have to pay attention to your surroundings, pay attention to those persons who you may think you want to encounter, but you really don't know them. So we're just asking people, again, if you see something, say something, but not necessarily to the person who may be near you. Just make sure you're always vigilant.
Going back to what you just said, these 7 cases, were they riding with each other, or did they happen to run each other on the Metro? And why do you think this is happening on the Metro?
Well, it's, as you know, we're moving people, and the same people utilizing the system tend to get to know each other. And that does not mean it's always a friendly interaction. They were not riding together particularly, but they knew each other. There was some relationship of them just knowing each other either through riding or prior to that. So there's not anything, again, that I can specifically say that would say this is a common thread. It just happened that these incidents did occur. We're moving, as the chairman said, we're moving a lot of people for the amount of crime that we really have with the numbers. It's just not that large compared to the amount of people that are utilizing our system.
If I may, we're going to be here as long as you all want us to answer questions, but we have a guest in the House. I would like to bring to the podium Congresswoman from the 18th District of Texas, Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee.
Thank you, Chairman, very much, and to the Director Lambert. This incident happened in my congressional district last evening, and I was on Martin Luther King Boulevard for a meeting, and I saw the very rapid response to help this victim. First of all, let me offer my deepest concern to the victim and her family. We're finding out that the injuries are certainly more serious than might have been expected, and we want for her the best recovery that she can get. It is important, as our colleagues have said, Chief Bumpers, Chief Fenner, Director Lambert, and of course our chair of the Metro Board, that we are a team. And I want to express my appreciation to the Metro Police, the HPD. As you can see, we can only ensure the safety if we are a collaborative team. It is also important to note for the traveling public that as a member of Homeland Security and Judiciary, that I just stand here to ensure that every transit asset that we have, joining with the mayor of this city, is safe for everyone, for families and students and workers and seniors, because it is a great asset to this community. We worked hard to get a working transit system that is integrated and interrelated with our bus system. And I want to be very supportive of that in Washington, D.C. And so I'm very glad to hear of the collaborative work that will continue between the Metro Police and the Houston Police Department and other law enforcement. I certainly want to say that every time there is a need for the federal involvement, I want to thank our federal law enforcement that are quick to respond to any calls made by our local law enforcement. I'm glad to hear that we have had collectively 10 million rides, and that incidences of crime pales in comparison. But here is the point that should be made. Every aspect that we can look at to ensure that there is deeply embedded safety and the comfort of our traveling public we should do. So in the last omnibus bill, we have put $93 million that I hope to work with our Metro and our local law enforcement to ensure that we will have additional federal funds to help with the fine work of technology, of manpower, womanpower, to be able to further ensure the safety of our transit assets. I am here as a partner to work with the city and to ensure that the funding is there. We cannot take lightly any incident. Any incident should not be taken lightly. And I think it is important for the media to focus that 5 of the perpetrators on these incidences have already been apprehended. Last night was particularly, in this holiday season, one to stun you. A young woman who had every right to return home to her family safely. So I do think it is important that today we say, whatever you might have seen, whatever you might have heard, it is important to get to these law enforcement. Whatever you might have seen, whatever you might have heard, whatever you're hearing now on the streets, whoever's bragging, whoever is in the neighborhood, speaking about that incident that required a lot of police resources, please speak up. And then as we travel on transit, let us be our individual brothers and sisters' keeper and be attentive and be responsive when information is needed. Again, let me thank those in law enforcement for the work that they continue to do, and let me continue to be a collaborator on these federal funds that are now ready to be secured. I want to finish on this note. Our federal funds deal with what we have dealt with starting from 9/11. They deal with the threat of terrorism. We hope that we will not see that ever in our system or any system, but we need to be prepared. But we also have the ability to provide additional federal resources to complement what is being done by Metro, Houston Police Department, and others to help embellish the numbers of individuals and boots on the ground, which I know are very important. I hope, as I've heard from our leaders here, that we will look forward to more visibility, and to do that, I want to be able to be a resource for that. So this is a unified effort, and it is an effort to tell our traveling public, we got you. It's safe. We want you to utilize these facilities. We want you to be able to get to work, to the theater district, for entertainment, to places of worship, and just plain entertainment and being with friends and family. That's what we want to make sure that this system is, and I'm looking forward as they continue to work to ensure that happens and to continue to ensure that we have a safe place for all of our citizens and members of the Houston community. Again, my prayers are to this recent victim and to her family, and wishing her a strong and speedy recovery.
We can take a couple more questions.
Chief Bumpers, could you clarify, are your officers also riding the Metro system, or are they just on the platforms outside of the buses?
The officers are riding on the LRVs, our light rail trains, and they are also patrolling. You may see them on motorcycles patrolling, in cars patrolling. We have Segways and bicycles, but we do have officers riding the trains.
Are the officers there every train while the system is operating, or is there 24/7?
We have 24/7 coverage. You probably will not see an officer on every train, but you will see an officer patrolling along the routes 24/7. So we have officers here working along the rail line 24/7.
Regarding last night's shooting, is there a person of interest that's been identified? Do you have a person you're looking for and you know who it is?
It's still up under investigation right now, so we are not sharing any additional information in reference to that.
Could you
You
update
talked
us?
about more boots on the ground and additional resources. Can anybody quantify what that? Are you talking another 10 or 50
Well, since October until probably between October and December 24th, we have exhausted over 4,500 hours of overtime, officers working overtime. So we have increased utilizing overtime officers, and we have even made some changes in our strategies as far as our deployment to ensure that we have more visibility along the rail line.
And with the Final Four coming, and of course we're going to expect, Houston will be in the limelight and people will be using the rail system and all. Are you anticipating or planning on any additional changes sort of to enhance security for that higher usage and higher profile aspect?
As Chief Benner said earlier, we will be working together to come up with some additional strategies to ensure that we have safety on the system, and I can assure you with the Final Four or just any average day that we will be committed to safety and security on our transit system. We will definitely be having more. We're hiring, so if you want to advertise that, we are hiring, but we do anticipate additional personnel being on board by that time.
Chief Benner, just from your perspective, can you touch on what kind of resources the Metro has that help HPD get these arrests, and then 5 of the 7 have already been arrested?
Last night is still on investigation. I will say this, I feel good with our partnership. I feel good on our ability to bring people in. If you look at divisional clearance rate for HPD, it's over 80% right now. That's pretty good. I want it to be 100%, but I feel good about, without going into specific numbers or anything, I feel good about our relationship and our ability to deliver safe services. And back to your question, whenever we have large events here, we always beef it up. But at the same time, what's important with us and everybody that's standing here every day to make our city as safe as we can.
But just in terms of the resources that Metro has that helps HPD with the investigation, can you touch on that?
Yes, we're in partnership. Just like in this investigation, you'll have investigators from Metro. They're out today gathering surveillance. So we work together. So it's on something like this, I feel comfortable and I'm proud of the relationship because I got HPD officers working on investigators as well as Metro. So, okay.
I had a couple of things that I want to touch on. Anytime Houston's on the global stage or the national stage, we shine. Whether it's the Super Bowl, Astros Parade, Final Four, we've done this. We know how to do this. We know how to do this because we are one team looking to showcase Houston. In terms of resources, I know Chief Bumpers talked about folks on cycles, motorcycles, segways. We also have a transit marshal program. Just because you don't see a uniformed officer on a rail car or a bus does not mean MPD is not there. They're in plain clothes. So there are multiple pieces to this that together come to a safe, secure system that we can deliver, working with MPD, working with HPD and other partners in the region.
I wanted to emphasize and be clear. I was on Martin Luther King Boulevard for an event, and I'll be very clear how quickly the combined response of HPD and Metro Police were last evening. I was not at the scene, but I was on the boulevard as they sped by to make their way to that incident. I think that should give comfort to the presence of our law enforcement. But I do want to emphasize that this is a holiday weekend, and as I hope and understand that there will be increased presence for those who do want to celebrate and use the public transit. We want most of all for people to view this as their transit and their system that will take them to places of enjoyment, places of work, and places that they need to be at. The other thing I wanted to add, that in addition to the initial grant monies that we will have out of the Department of Justice, $1.3 billion that will be used for law enforcement across America, that I have encouraged our departments to be able to work with members of Congress for these funds to come to the fourth largest city in the nation working with Mayor Turner and ensuring that we get the resources to embellish the Marshall program, more boots on the ground, more technology. All of this can be extremely helpful. We plan to utilize these federal funds in complement to the federal, to the collaboration of the funding that comes out of Metro and comes out of HPD in the city of Houston. So I just want to make sure that I stand as a civilian who represents the system in many parts that come through my congressional district, from TSU to U of H to Harrisburg line that starts and ends in another congressional district. But I see the system, and I believe that we have a system that all of us should enjoy, and we want to enjoy it and be safe. And that's what I think we are standing here today to say to you, that that is the commitment of all of these law enforcement, and they are ready to ensure that for the traveling public. Again, I want to end by again offering my concern and sympathy for this victim. I don't want to speculate, but we're suffering a lot from domestic violence, and so we just hope that we can also find ways to ease that if those are the facts as well. I wish this victim a speedy recovery, and my concern to her family.